Exodus 26. And make the dwelling place with 10 curtains of fine woven linen and blue and purple and scarlet material. Make them with cherubim, the work of a skilled workman. The length of each curtain is 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. All the curtains having one measure. 5 curtains are joined to each other, and 5 curtains are joined to each other. And you shall make loops of blue on the edge of the end curtain on one set, and do the same on the edge of the end curtain of the second set. Make 50 loops in the one curtain, and make 50 loops on the edge of the end curtain of the second set, the loops being opposite to each other. And you shall make 50 hooks of gold, and shall join the curtains together with the hooks, and the dwelling place shall be one. And you shall make curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the dwelling place. Make 11 curtains. And the length of each curtain is 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits, one measure to the 11 curtains. And you shall join the 5 curtains by themselves, and the 6 curtains by themselves, and you shall double over the 6 curtains at the front of the tent. And you shall make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is outermost in one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain of the second set. And you shall make 50 bronze hooks, and put the hooks into the loops, and join the tent together, and it shall be one. And the overlapping part of the rest of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remained, shall hang over the back of the dwelling place. And a cubit on one side and a cubit on the other side of what remains of the length of the curtains of the tent is to hang over the sides of the dwelling place, on this side and on that side, to cover it. And you shall make a covering of ram skins dyed red for the tent, and a covering of fine leather above that. And for the dwelling place you shall make the boards of acacia wood standing up. 10 cubits is the length of a board, and a cubit and a half the width of each board. 2 tenons in each board for binding one to another. Do the same for all the boards of the dwelling place. And you shall make the boards for the dwelling place, 20 boards for the south side, and make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards. 2 sockets under each of the boards for its 2 tenons. And for the second side of the dwelling place on the north side, 20 boards, and their 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards. And for the extreme parts of the dwelling place westward, make 6 boards, and make 2 boards for the 2 back corners of the dwelling place. And they are double beneath, and similarly they are complete to the top, to the one ring. So it is for both of them. They are for the 2 corners. And they shall be 8 boards, and their sockets of silver 16 sockets, 2 sockets under the one board, and 2 sockets under the other board. And you shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the boards on one side of the dwelling place, and 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the dwelling place, and 5 bars for the boards of the side of the dwelling place for the extreme parts westward, with the middle bar in the midst of the boards going through from end to end. And overlay the boards with gold, and make their rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlay the bars with gold. And you shall raise up the dwelling place according to its pattern which you were shown on the mountain. And you shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine woven linen, the work of a skilled workman, made with cherubim. And you shall put it on the 4 columns of acacia wood, overlaid with gold, their hooks of gold upon 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang the veil from the hooks, and shall bring the ark of the witness there, behind the veil. And the veil shall make a separation for you between the set apart and the most set apart place. And you shall put the lid of atonement upon the ark of the witness in the most set apart place. And you shall set the table outside the veil, and the lampstand opposite the table on the side of the dwelling place toward the south. And put the table on the north side, And you shall make a covering for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet material and fine woven linen made by a weaver. And you shall make for the covering 5 columns of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold, their hooks of gold, and you shall cast 5 sockets of bronze for them. Chapter 27. And you shall make a slaughter place of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The slaughter place is square, and its height 3 cubits. And you shall make its horns on its 4 corners. Its horns are of the same, and you shall overlay it with bronze. And you shall make its posts to receive its ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, and its forks, and its fire holders. Excuse me. Make all its utensils of bronze. And you shall make a grating for it, a bronze network, and shall make on the network 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners, and shall put it under the rim of the slaughter place beneath, so that the network is halfway up the slaughter place. And you shall make poles for the slaughter place, poles of acacia wood, and shall overlay them with bronze. And the poles shall be put in the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the slaughter place for lifting it. Make it hollow with boards, as it was shown to you on the mountain, so they are to make it. And you shall make the courtyard. And you shall make the courtyard of the dwelling place for the south side screens for the courtyard made of fine woven linen, 100 cubits long for one side. And its 20 columns and their 20 sockets of bronze, and the hooks of the columns and their bands of silver. And so for the north side in length, screen 100 cubits long, with its 20 columns and their 20 sockets of bronze, and the hooks of the columns and their bands of silver. And the width of the courtyard on the west side screens of 50 cubits with their 10 columns and their 10 sockets. And the width of the courtyard on the east side 50 cubits. And the screens on one side of the gate 15 cubits with their 3 columns and their 3 sockets. And on the other side, screens of 15 cubits. With their 3 columns and their 3 sockets. And for the gate of the courtyard at the covering, 20 cubits long, of blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine woven linen made by a weaver, 4 columns and 4 sockets. And the columns around the courtyard have bands of silver, their hooks silver, and their sockets bronze. The length of the courtyard is 100 cubits, and the width 50 by 50. And the height 5 cubits, woven of fine linen thread, and its sockets of bronze. All the utensils of the dwelling place, for all its service, all its pegs, and all the pegs of the courtyard are bronze. And you are to command the children of Israel to bring you clear oil of pressed olives for the light, to cause the lamp to burn continually. In the tent of appointment, outside the veil which is before the witness, Aaron and his sons are to tend it from evening until morning before Yahweh, a law forever to their generations from the children of Israel. Chapter 28. And you bring near Aaron your brother and his sons with him from among the children of Israel, for serving as priests to me, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron. And you shall make set-apart garments for Aaron your brother, for esteem and for comeliness. And you speak to all the wise of heart, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, and they shall make the garments of Aaron to set him apart, for him to serve as priest to me. And these are the garments which they make: a breastplate, a shoulder garment, a robe, an embroidered long shirt, a turban, and a girdle. And they shall make set-apart garments for Aaron your brother and his sons, for him to serve as priest to me. And they shall take the gold, and the blue and purple and scarlet material, and the fine linen, and shall make the shoulder garment of gold, of blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine woven linen, the work of a skilled workman. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces joined at its 2 edges, and so it is joined together. And the embroidered band of the shoulder garment which is on it is of the same workmanship, made of gold, of blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine woven linen. And you shall take 2 shoam stones, and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel, 6 of their names on one stone, and the remaining 6 names on the other stone, according to their birth, with the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet. Engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Israel, set them in the settings of gold. And you shall put the 2 stones on the shoulder piece of the shoulder garment, as stones of remembrance for the sons of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before Yahweh on his 2 shoulders for a remembrance. And you shall make settings of gold and 2 chains of clean gold like braided cords, and fasten the braided chains to the settings. And you shall make a breastplate of right ruling, a work of a skilled workman, like the work of the shoulder garment. Make it of gold, of blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine woven linen. It is a square, double a span its length, and a span its width. And you shall put settings of stones in it, 4 rows of stones. The first row is a ruby, a topaz, and an emerald. And the second row is a turquoise, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row is a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row is a beryl, and a shoam, and a jasper. They are set in gold settings. And the stones are according to the names of the sons of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, each one with its own name for the 12 tribes. And you shall make braided chains of corded work for the breastplate at the end of clean gold. And you shall make 2 rings of gold for the breastplate, and shall put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And you shall put the 2 cords of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate, and the other 2 ends of the cords you fasten to the 2 settings, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the shoulder garment in the front. And you shall make 2 rings of gold, and shall put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate, on the edge of it, which is on the inner side of the shoulder garment. And you shall make 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 shoulder pieces, underneath the shoulder garment, on the front of it, close to the seam, above the embroidered band of the shoulder garment. And they bind the breastplate by means of its rings to the rings of the shoulder garment, using a blue cord, so that it is above the embroidered band of the shoulder garment, so that the breastplate does not come loose from the shoulder garment. And Aaron shall bear the names of the sons of Israel on the breastplate of right ruling over his heart, when he goes into the set-apart place for a remembrance before Yahweh continually. And into the breastplate of right ruling you shall put the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be on the heart of Aaron when he goes in before Yahweh. And Aaron shall bear the right ruling of the children of Israel on his heart before Yahweh continually. And you shall make the robe of the shoulder garment all of blue, and the opening for his head shall be in the middle of it, a woven binding all around its opening, like the opening in a scaled armor, so that it does not tear. And on its hem you shall make pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet material all around its hem, and bells of gold between them all around. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate on the hem of the robe all around. And it shall be upon Aaron to attend in it, and its sound shall be heard when he goes into the set-apart place before Yahweh, and when he comes out, so that he does not die. And you shall make a plate of clean gold, and engrave on it, like the engraving of the signet, set apartness to Yahweh. And you shall put it on a blue cord, and it shall be on the turban. It is to be on the front of the turban, and it shall be on the forehead of Aaron, and Aaron shall bear the guilt of the set-apart gifts, which the children of Israel set apart in all their set-apart gifts. And it shall always be on his forehead, for acceptance for them before Yahweh. And you shall weave the long shirt of fine linen, and shall make the turban of fine linen, and you shall make the girdle of woven work. And make long shirts for Aaron's sons, and you shall make girdles for them, and you shall make turbans for them, for esteem and comeliness. And you shall put them on Aaron your brother, and on his sons with him, and shall anoint them, and shall ordain them, and shall set them apart, and they shall serve as priests to me. And make linen trousers for them, to cover their nakedness, reaching from the waist to the thighs. And they shall be on Aaron and on his sons when they come into the tent of appointment, or when they come near the slaughter place to attend to the set-apart place, so that they do not bear crookedness and die, a law forever to him and to his seed after him. Chapter 29. And this is the task you shall do to them to set them apart to serve me as priests. Take 1 young bull and 2 rams, perfect ones, and unleavened bread, and unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil. Make these of wheat flour. And you shall put them in 1 basket, and bring them in the basket along with the bull and the 2 rams. Then you shall bring Aaron and his sons to the door of the tent of appointment, and wash them with water. And you shall take the garments, and shall put on Aaron the long shirt, and the robe of the shoulder garment, and the shoulder garment, and the breastplate, and shall gird him with the embroidered band of the shoulder garment, and shall put on the turban, and shall put the turban on his head, and shall put the set-apart sign of dedication on the turban, and shall take the anointing oil, and pour it on his head, and anoint him. Then you shall bring his sons, and put long shirts on them, and shall gird them with girdles, Aaron and his sons, and put the turbans on them. And the priesthood shall be theirs for an everlasting law, so you shall ordain Aaron and his sons. And you shall bring near the bull before the tent of appointment, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the bull. And you shall slay the bull before Yahweh by the door of the tent of appointment, and take some of the blood of the bull, and put it on the horns of the slaughter place with your finger, and pour all the blood beside the base of the slaughter place. And you shall take all the fat that covers the entrails, and the appendage on the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, and burn them on the slaughter place. But the flesh of the bull, and its skin, and its dung, you shall burn with fire outside the camp. It is a sin offering. And take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram, and you shall slay the ram, and you shall take its blood, and sprinkle it all around on the slaughter place, and cut the ram into pieces, and wash its entrails and its legs, and place them upon its pieces and on its head. And you shall burn the entire ram on the slaughter place. It is an ascending offering to Yahweh. It is a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahweh. And you shall take the 2nd ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram, and you shall slay the ram, and take some of its blood, and put it on the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and on the tip of the right ear of his sons, and on the thumb of their right hand, and on the big toe of their right foot, and sprinkle the blood all around on the slaughter place. And you shall take some of its blood that is on the slaughter place, and some of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it on Aaron and on his garments, on his sons, and on their on the garments of his sons with him. And he and his garments shall be set apart, and his sons and the garments of his sons with him. And you shall take the fat of the ram, and the fat tail, and the fat that covers the entrails, and the appendage on the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat on them, and the right thigh. It is for a ram of ordination. Add 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake made with oil, and 1 thin cake from the basket of unleavened bread that is before Yahweh. And you shall put all these in the hands of Aaron and in the hands of his sons, and you shall wave them a wave offering before Yahweh. Then you shall take them from their hands and burn them on the slaughter place as an ascending offering, as a sweet fragrance before Yahweh. It is an offering made by fire to Yahweh. And you shall take the breast of the ram of Aaron's ordination and wave it, a wave offering before Yahweh, and it shall be your portion. And from the ram of ordination you shall set apart the breast of the wave offering which is waved, and the thigh of the contribution which is raised, of that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. And it shall be from the children of Israel for Aaron and his sons by a law forever, for it is a contribution, and it is a contribution from the children of Israel from the slaughterings of their peace offerings, their contribution to Yahweh. And the set apart garments of Aaron are for his sons after him, to be anointed in them and to be ordained in them. The priest from his sons in his place puts them on for 7 days, when he enters the tent of appointment to attend in the set apart place, and take the ram of ordination and cook its flesh in a set apart place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tent of appointment. And they shall eat those offerings with which the atonement was made to ordain them, to set them apart. But let a stranger not eat them, because they are set apart. And if any of the flesh of the ordination offerings or the bread be left over until morning, then you shall burn up what is left over. It is not eaten, because it is set apart. And you shall do to Aaron and his sons according to all I have commanded you. 7 days you shall ordain them, and prepare a bull each day as a sin offering for atonement. And you shall cleanse the slaughter place when you make atonement for it, and you shall anoint it to set it apart. For 7 days you shall make atonement for the slaughter place and set it apart. And the slaughter place shall be most set apart. Whatever touches the slaughter place is to be set apart, and this is what you prepare on the slaughter place: 2 lambs a year old daily, continually. Prepare the one lamb in the morning, and the other lamb you prepare between the evenings. And 1/10 of an ephah of flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering with the one lamb. And prepare the other lamb between the evenings, and with it prepare the grain offering and the drink offering as in the morning, for a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahweh. A continual ascending offering for your generations at the door of the tent of appointment before Yahweh, where I shall meet with you to speak with you. And there I shall meet with you, the children of Israel, and it shall be set apart by my esteem. And I shall set apart the tent of appointment and the slaughter place. And Aaron and his sons I set apart to serve as priests to me. And I shall dwell in the midst of the children of Israel, and shall be their Elohim. And they shall know that I am Yahweh their Elohim, who brought them up out of the land of Mitzrayim to dwell in the midst. I am Yahweh their Elohim. Chapter 30. And you shall make a slaughter place to burn incense on. Make it of acacia wood, a cubit long and a cubit wide. It is a square, and 2 cubits high, its horns of the same. And you shall overlay its top and its sides all around, and its horns with clean gold. And you shall make for it a molding of gold all around. And make 2 gold rings for it under the molding on both its sides. Make them on its 2 sides, and they shall be holders for the poles to lift it with. And you shall make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. And you shall put it before the veil that is before the ark of the witness, before the lid of atonement that is over the witness, where I am to meet with you. And Aaron shall burn on it sweet incense morning by morning. As he tends the lamps, he shall burn incense on it. And when Aaron lights the lamps between the evenings, he shall burn incense on it, a continual incense before Yahweh throughout your generations. Do not offer strange incense on it, or an ascending offering or a grain offering, and do not pour a drink offering on it. And Aaron shall make atonement upon its horns once a year with the blood of the sin offering of atonement. Once a year he makes atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most set apart to Yahweh. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, When you take the census of the children of Israel to register them, then each one shall give an atonement for his life to Yahweh. When you register them, so that there is no plague among them when you register them. Everyone among those who are registered is to give this, half a shekel according to the shekel of the set-apart place, 20 gerahs being a shekel, and half shekel is the contribution to Yahweh. Everyone passing over to be registered from 20 years old and above gives a contribution to Yahweh. The rich does not give more, and the poor does not give less than half a shekel, when you give a contribution to Yahweh to make atonement for yourselves. And you shall take the silver for the atonement from the children of Israel, and give it for the service of the tent of appointment. And it shall be to the children of Israel for a remembrance before Yahweh, to make atonement for yourselves. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, And you shall make a basin of bronze with its stand also of bronze for washing, and you shall put it between the tent of appointment and the slaughter place, and shall put water in it. And Aaron and his sons shall wash from it their hands and their feet. When they go into the tent of appointment, or when they come near the slaughter place to attend, to burn an offering made by fire to Yahweh, they wash with water, lest they die. And they shall wash their hands and their feet, lest they die. It shall be a law forever to them, to him and his seed throughout their generations. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, And take for yourself choice spices, 500 shekels of liquid myrrh, and half as much, 250, of sweet-smelling cinnamon, and 250 of sweet-smelling cane, and 500 of cassia, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, and a hin of olive oil. And you shall make from these a set-apart anointing oil, a compound blended, the work of a perfumer. It is a set-apart anointing oil. And with it you shall anoint the tent of appointment, and the ark of the witness, and the table, and all its utensils, and the lampstand and its utensils, and the slaughter place of incense, and the slaughter place of ascending offering, with all its utensils, and the basin and its stand. And you shall set them apart, and they shall be most set apart. Whatever touches them is to be set apart. And you shall anoint Aaron and his sons, and set them apart to serve as priests to me. And speak to the children of Israel, saying, This is a set-apart anointing oil to me throughout your generations. It shall not be poured on the flesh of a man, and make no other like it according to its composition. It is set apart to you. Whoever compounds any like it, or whoever puts any of it on a stranger, shall be cut off from his people. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Take sweet spices, fragrant gum, and cinnamon, and galbanum, and clear frankincense with these sweet spices, all in equal amounts. Then you shall make of these an incense, a compound, work of a perfumer, salted, clean, set apart. And you shall beat some of it very fine, and put some of it before the witness in the tent of appointment, where I meet with you. It is most set apart to you. And the incense which you make, do not make any for yourselves according to its composition. It is set apart to you for Yahweh. Whoever makes any like it, to smell it, he shall be cut off from his people. That was a lot. Instructions from the Father for building of the tabernacle and the utensils and the anointing of the priesthood. I hope you got something out of it. Shalom.